Hello, in this video we'll be going over questions 11 through 15 in our preparation for the arithmetic Accuplacer test. So let's get started. Number 11, which of the following is equivalent to 8 over 25? And what I did here was make it a fraction over 100 so I can convert it into a decimal. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and multiply by 4 because that'll give us 100 in the denominator. So 4 times 25, I get 100. If you do that in the denominator, you also got to do that in the top of the fraction, the numerator. And I get 8 times 4, I get 32. And when you divide by 100, for each of the zeros, you move the decimal place over 1. 1, 2, and that's where we get our 0.32, which would be our answer choice B. Let's look at the next one. Number 12, what is the remainder when 599 is divided by 9? So I'm going to go ahead and do that division. 9 into 599. Well, this is really close to 60. 6 times 10 would be 60. So we have a little bit less than that. 6 times 9, we get 54. Then we subtract and we get 5. And we have the same exact number again. So we're going to get 6 again. 6 times 9, we get 54. And again, we get 5. And now there's nothing left to bring down. So this is our remainder of 5. And that's what they're asking for. What's the remainder? And that would be answer choice B. Be careful there. Asking for the remainder is not usually what they ask for. You usually ask for the 66 here. But we got to read the good suggestion is always to read the question twice. Make sure you know what they're asking for. Our remainder is 5, so that is our answer, 5. Let's look at the next one. Number 13. A machine is currently set to feed at this decimal, and it changes to this decimal. In order to figure out the change, we have to go ahead and subtract those two numbers. So let's do that. We take the larger one, the 6.088, and subtract the smaller one, and our result will be the change. So we get 8 minus 1, we get 7. 8 minus 2, we get 6. Over here, 0 minus 9, we got to borrow from the 6. Cross it out and make it a 5, and bring over those 10, and we get 10 minus 9, and we get 1. And 5 minus 5, we get 0. So we get our answer there, 0.167. Let's look at the next one. Number 14. Here I separated it by color because I have 3 different things to look at. Which of the following currently orders the values above from least to greatest? So we want to find the least value and the greatest value in order. In order to do that, I'm going to need to put them all in the same kind of format. Right now we have decimals, percentages, fractions. I need them all to be in the same format. You could choose whatever format you like. For me, I went with putting them all in percentages. So in order to convert a decimal into a percent, we move the decimal place over 2 to the right. So it was right here initially. I move it 1, 2 to the right, kind of like multiplying by 100, and we get 7.5%. Now the next one, underlined in red here, is already a percentage, so I don't need to do anything with that. The next one is a fraction. In order to make the fraction a percentage, I'm going to need to get it over 100 like we did in a previous problem. So I'm going to do 4 times 25 to get that 100, and I got to do that on the top as well. 25 times 3, I get 75, and 75 divided by 100 is 75%. Now we have them all as percentages. We have 7.5%, 75%, and this one 0.75%, which is our least value. So if we compare them all, we can see that this is the lowest one, the least value, so that should go first when they want to go ahead and order them. And we have two answer choices that both have 0.75 as the first value listed. So we have to go a little further, and we see that the 3/4 was 75%, which is the greatest out of these three. So that should go last if we want least to greatest. So we have the 3/4 as last, so it must be answer choice A. All right, moving on, let's look at 15. Now 15 we can do a few ways. We can go ahead and use some approximation skills, and that's what I'm going to do first. I noticed that we have answer choices that are very far apart in 3.84 or 3.804, 11, 34, and 110. The answer choices are quite a distance from each other. So what if I go ahead and I use a little shortcut of approximation? So let's do the shortcut first and see if you like that. If not, we'll go ahead and do the long version as well. So I'm going to do a shortcut by using approximation. So 2.84, well, that's approximately, right, 2.84. If I had to round that up, well, I would get 3. That's approximately 3. 3.9, if I round that up, well, I get 4. And here I'm multiplying, so let's go ahead and multiply those two. 3 times 4, I would get 12. So the answer should be approximately 12. If I look at the answer choices, the only one that's about 12 is B. Right? It's 11 with a little bit extra, which is about 12. So that should be our answer, and it is. But if we don't like that, let's go ahead and look at the longer version. We can do the full version as well of just multiplying them out. So we get 2.84 times 3.9. And we go ahead and multiply that out. We get 9 times 4, we get 36. Carry the 3. 9 times 8, we get 72, plus 3 would give us 75. Carry the 7. 9 times 2 would be 18. 18 plus 7, we'd get 25. Then we're going to move over 1 over, so we have to have a 0 as a placeholder when we multiply by this 3. And then we're going to go ahead and multiply the 3 times everything there. 3 times 4, we get 12. Carry the 1. 3 times 8, we get 24. Plus 1, we get 25. Carry the 2. 3 times 2, we get 6. 6 and 2, we get 8. And then we go ahead and just add those all up. And we get 6 and 0, we get 6. 5 and 2, we get 7. 5 and 5, we get 10. Carry the 1 over. 1 and 2, we get 3. 3 and 8, we get 11. And then the last thing we have to do is check how many numbers we had behind the decimal, because our answer has to have the same numbers behind the decimal after we multiply. So here we have 1 number behind the decimal, 2 numbers behind the decimal, and 3 numbers behind the decimal. So we also need to have that here. 1, 2, 3, and our decimal point would go right there after the 11, and we get 11.076, which we figured out was B, right, with our shortcut. So either way, we just want to recognize, yeah, if the answers are very far apart, maybe, use some approximation instead and just pick out the answer right away. Use the multiple choice to your advantage. All right, so I hope this helps with studying for the test. Good luck to you. This will be the end of the video.